So we're talking about reaching these children, and one of the responses and questions that we've gotten is about those that may not be in those accelerated. They're already doing great. They're going to accelerate regardless of the setting that they're in. But there are kids that could, if let me pull up the quote exactly.
All right.
We had one of our responders said, my child was identified as gifted early, like early elementary, but there wasn't much differentiation in instruction until about 5th grade, and by that point, the child had lost interest in school and poor study habits had been reinforced. So how would consolidating maybe address that parent's type of concern?
Well, having our resources together, we wouldn't have to struggle so much to give those kids the things that they need. Last year, before we had our COVID incident, we were actually busing kids to an elementary school that were some of our tag kids, busing them a couple of days a week so that they could be served in a different setting. It takes us getting a bus, a driver, coordinating the drop-off and pickup and everything else. If we're all together, none of that has to take place. It's just a matter of scheduling, and the kids walk down the hall. Much easier to accomplish, much more readily available, and can reach so many more kids. Also, if you work on kids that maybe aren't doing well, or maybe are struggling with a concept, not everybody is great in math and science. So if math is an area where you need some extra support, having our people together will allow us to find the right supports for that kid on the spot. We won't have to get into the busing. We won't have to get into the movement, and we'll be able to give them what they need.
Rather than losing instruction time, having to move them from location to location, or
yes, and all of those things add up. We talk often when we're working with just evaluating our teachers about transitions, and those are big transitions. Those are big, laborsome transitions. Even in a classroom, when you start talking about a teacher, about their efficiencies in the classroom and the transitions from one subject to another or from one task to another, you lose a couple of minutes in that transition. When you add that up over the course of a week and over the course of a month, and then of course over a semester, those are large chunks of time. So if we can if we can eliminate the big transitions, just like the small ones, it'll make a bigger impact.